Probably the best thing that we can do with the leaf blower is mop up. Works really great along the edges of mowed lines. You're really going to smother the fires, what they're designed to do. A fire rake for mop up. You can also use it for suppression in light fuels, especially on backfires and stuff like that. My name is John Weir, and we're going to talk about prescribed fire equipment. I'm the Extension Prescribed Fire Specialist at Oklahoma State University. And what I have here today is a leaf blower. We have been using leaf blowers for a long time around here for prescribed burning. We not only use them in forested situations, thinking about leaf blower, but we've used them in grassland settings for a long time. They work really good. They're very effective. Probably the best thing that we can do with the leaf blower is mop up. Works really great for mopping up along the edges of mowed lines. So again, if you only use mowed lines or have an area where that's all you can use is a mowed line and stuff because of erosion potentials and stuff, after you lay your wet line down, light the fire and let it go, that water's evaporated, there's a good chance, again, fire can creep across that, but you can take that leaf blower and work that edge of that line really well, and it works really good. You come up along anything that's smoldering, you'll see it glowing and stuff. You can hit it with that leaf blower with 150 mile an hour worth of wind, increase the oxygen rate, something that would sit there and smolder for several minutes or even hours. Within a few seconds to a couple of minutes, you can have it totally burned up by increasing the oxygen through this. Or if you have stuff burning right there along the edge, light stuff, you can take that air, force it in, and you can blow it back into the black, so that way it goes inside the burn unit further and it can safely burn up and not be a problem. Again, the biggest thing to remember with leaf blowers, again, some type of eye protection is good, because again, you're blowing up dust, you're blowing up particles, ash and things like that. Some hearing protection, it would be great as well. The thing to remember is when you're always working with a leaf blower, you're always blowing back into the black or back into the burn unit, so that way you're not blowing any kind of embers out of the burn unit. Because again, you can do that real quickly and easily with a leaf blower, because you're putting a lot of air in there and it's stirring things up. So make sure you're blowing always back into the black and to keep it safe within that. A couple other things to think about. If you are operating a leaf blower, a lot of times you cannot hear on the radio. So you can't hear if people are hollering or if you're needed or whatever, so that you might want to stop every once in a while, check in. If you see somebody operating their leaf blower and they're calling for them on the radio or whatever, remember, they probably can't hear it, so you might run over there and tap them on the shoulder and tell them what they need to do or whatever, and communicate so everybody's in the right position, in the right place, being safe and doing everything you need. Also, leaf blowers, again, you can use handheld leaf blowers. This is a backpack type leaf blower. It's one of the smaller ones. I like these smaller ones. They've got them down to where they're less than 20 pounds. I think this one here is about 12 pounds total. With a backpack, works really good. Like I said, I've used the handheld ones. They work just fine. If that's what you have available, use it. Use what you have available. That's the biggest part of it. So any kind of leaf blower, handheld or backpack, will work really good and be an added benefit to any of your prescribed burns that you do. All right, we're going to talk about some of the hand tools that we can use for prescribed fire. And what we've got here is we've got a fire rake, we've got a leaf rake, and we've got a swatter. Those are kind of the three main hand tools that a lot of times you'll see on a fire or use on a prescribed fire. They all have a little bit of different aspect and a little bit of different uses within that, but for the most part, most hand tools, their use again is for either mop up along the edges after the burn, or as the burn's going on and you want to mop up along the edge of the burn unit. And they can also be used to help suppress any kind of spot fires or things that gets out of the burn unit. They can be used for that, again, especially at low intensity areas and stuff with that. They're a good addition to have. We'll have the hand tools in the vehicle vehicles that are around the burn unit, but if we have extra people on a burn unit, we'll have them with a hand tool and they can be following up, mopping things up along the edges as we're going along. Or a lot of times too, we put people with hand tools as a spotter where they're watching an area where there may be embers float across the fire break, and then they can be right there on it and try to put it out real quick, call on a radio, but you've got people right there. Most of those spots, if you get on them when they're really small, hand tools can put them out real quick instead of not having them there at all. With a swatter, what you're going to do is you're really going to smother the fires, what they're designed to do. Like a mop, they work in really good in light fuels. You got fuels much heavier than this or taller. They just don't really work real well. Again, and you can't really dig down and put stuff out in real thick fuels. In real light fuels, they work really great. You're going to use them as that. Remember, you don't want to do this because you see what that just did. It fans the fire. It increases, can spread embers, cause problems within that. So again, it's more, you use it more like a mop to put the fire out. Swatters used for suppressing spot fires or escapes, any fires that may get out of the burn unit. Also for mop up along the edges and stuff to try to put things out. Okay, again, a fire rake for mop up. You can also use it for suppression in light fuels, especially on backfires and stuff like that. Again, what you're always going to be able to do with this is you're going to come in, you're going to pull stuff into the black. You're always going to pull that fuel into the black to put it out. It's because, again, you're trying to keep that fire from spreading into the other fuels. Again, working typically on backfires, light fuels, they work the best, mop up. So again, you can bring stuff in, let it burn up. Again, where it's not going to go anything. I've created a small break around that so I can go ahead and let that burn on out. It's not going to get to my other fuel right there. As for the safety aspect of it, again, working where the fire's not coming at you, and doing that, pulling stuff back into the black with it. The same kind of action. This is just a leaf rake, metal tine leaf rake. They work with the same effect. Again, you're going to use it to pull stuff into the black, work with it that way, get it to burn up. Always working into it. Couple big difference between this and a fire rake. You can't really hack through a lot of stuff, dig down to bare ground. Again, they're just more for moving things. Again, these leaf rakes work really good in areas where you got a lot of surface rock, because again, they can bend and get down between rocks, pull fuel out, where the fire rakes can't do that.